Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur. You can follow the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur fan page, and you can follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. All right, let's see who is in here. Hello, Harlem, Ma'at, the Conscious Room, Deron Walker, Pete. Okay, Patrick, I see you. All right, Jay. Afima Bell is in the house. Okay, saying Wig is at it again. Bayina, Terry, Pearly, Fluberts, Lakiva, Antoinette, Kathy. All right, Flow Records, Stacy, Omari, Trisha. Okay, Duzilla, I see you. Salad D, the Conscious Room, Donna. Let's get ready to get into it. Hello, Maestro Dan. I see you, Sweet Pea. Ayon is in the house. Shout out to my moderators. Vince, I am from the UK. All right, Fight for Black. Let's get into it, Curly Girl. Everyone get those likes up. Like and share. Come and give this video a like and a share. Miho, I see you, beloved. All right. So with that all being said, let me just start this off by saying this. Anyone that doesn't like what I'm about to say, and you already know what I'm about to say, or you at least have an idea about what this conversation is going to be, because you clearly saw the title. Okay, you saw the title, and if you saw the title, you already know what time it is. I already gave a precursor earlier today. I already said what this is going to be about. So if you have any qualms, any gripes, you feel like you're going to be butthurt, mad, or whatever, if you're V-Hive and you have an issue, I would suggest you leave right now. Don't come in here trying to troll, talk trash in the chat, because the mods will get rid of you real quick, fast, and in a hurry, okay? The truth is going to be told, and I'm going to show receipts. And if anybody doesn't like it, well, that's just too bad, all right? So let's get ready to get into it. Mr. Hotel said, if you don't like it, you can bounce, point blank, period. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Just leave it, because I'll start roasting. Says Fight for Black. Okay. So with that all being said, let's get into it. First things first. So we all know what this is all about. This is about, and let me just start at the beginning for those of you who don't know. And for anyone that may think that I'm hating on someone, I'm absolutely not. I hate on no one. All right. This is the thing. Wig, as I call this person, has always been, just hating on me, saying little subliminals, doing all sorts of things, getting my channel flagged. I actually lost my channel for 8 months. Okay. And now Wig's general, i.e. moderator, i.e. friend, has fallen out with her, and now she's starting to tell all these salacious details. And some of the things that she said, she's admitted that she was told to flag Michi X's channel and other people's channel, and mine included. Okay, so that is why my channel got taken down. Flagging my channel's demonetized. I'm sure she's a part of it. So with that all being said, yes, it's time for payback. I had warned Wig before that if she continued to do little dirty things behind the scenes, throwing rocks and hiding her hands, right? For no reason, because I've never done anything to this person. I told her I would drop those receipts. Well, today's that day, and I'm going to drop all of them. So let's get into it. Now, first things first, let's talk about Angel Love, who she calls the general, who was a good friend of hers, and also the person who was editing her videos and all of that, and who was running her Vicki Dillard fan page. So here are some messages. Let me pull these up. Everyone go ahead and like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Thank you in advance. Let me pull up these receipts real quick. Okay, here we go. Now, these are a series of messages from emails that Angel Love, her ex-friend, shared on the fan page. So this is already public information. I'm just showing you this as part of the information that has already been put out. Let me make sure I'm starting with the first one so everything's in order. Now, Angel Love said that she was also sent a cease and desist after she was told to take down the videos or take down the fan page and any other things with Vicki's name in it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Some of these may be out of order, but I'll provide context. Okay, here we go. Now, first and foremost, hold on. Let me see where that went to. Hold on just a second. Let me pull that back up. Okay, there it is. Okay, so this is a handwritten message that Angel Love posted that she got from Vicki. Hope you all can see that. Now, she was upset because she didn't receive a phone call. She simply got an email. And this, it says the stated message or email from Taryn Donatan, I think that's her last name, is on my behalf. You know, she speaks for me. My signature below is confirmation. All right. Then it has Vicki's name. It has Taryn's name. All right. Saying that Taryn is her official manager. So Taryn was speaking for her. So now let's go to the rest of these text messages. I mean, not text messages, emails. So Taryn was requesting a phone conversation with Angel that Vicki told her to have, telling Angel to stop posting everything or whatever. Let me pull this up. I think this is the first part. So when she was given these messages, she said that she was not going to talk to anybody or have any conversations unless Vicki was there. Taryn says, "Hi, Angel. All of your questions will be answered in the meeting. Let me know what time you can meet tomorrow." And then she asked after work. Angel says, "Good evening, Taryn." Can you all see that? Let me make sure that's okay. There it is. And then Angel responds to Taryn saying, "Good evening, Taryn. With all due respect to you and Rashida, if Vicki isn't present in the meeting, then I am not interested in having a meeting. You nor Rashida can answer the questions that I have for Vicki. It's kind of like this. You nor Rashida were the ones I cussed Michi X out for, and neither of you had a personal relationship with me, calling me Jonathan to your David, saying I'm your answered prayer. You nor Rashida were there when Vicki constantly felt alone, saying I'm a one-woman show. And I made it clear to the world that I got her back in every way by jumping in to do whatever I could to make things easier for her. I did not send F&Q an email with video attached defending you or Rashida against Michi X, constant slander and defamation of character. It was for Vicki Dillard. I could go on and on, but you get the point. Vicki Renee Dillard is who I am having a conversation with and no one else. You both can be present. I'm totally with that. But I am talking to Vicki only. To be clear, this isn't an intervention of any sort. It's two adults who said they loved each other, having a respectful conversation. I'm not Vicki's employee. I am a supporter who fell in love with her work and have been riding hard for her ever since day one. My work speaks for itself." And then she says, make sure that's on the screen. I'm going to zoom in so you all can see that better. She said, "In closing, if Vicki doesn't want to talk to me, I respect her freedom of choice. It's all love over here. It always has been and it always will be. However, I also choose not to talk to you or Rashida. Respectfully, signed, the General," which again is Angel Love. And that's the nickname that Vicki gave to her. And so now I'm going to pull up these comments that some of the V-Hive, Vicki's own subscribers, said about her. Because some of y'all want to act like, oh, I'm saying all this stuff, I'm hating and this and that. No, this is what her own people said. All right, pay attention. I'm pulling it up on the screen so you can see it for yourself. All right. Today it's going to all make sense. These are not my words. These are the words of her general and her own subscribers. Now, this is a comment from one of her subscribers. And they left these comments on the fan page that's run by Angel Love. And this is what they said. They're talking to Angel Love when they leave these comments. The first person says, I heard your interview with V. Dillard. I recall being surprised to hear you pretty much admit that you viewed her as your spiritual leader. And I got the impression that she was your God. I was further surprised that she did not correct you by telling you that she's nobody's God or spiritual guide. I'm happy you found the light sooner than later. Now, this is the next one. This person says, our elders say that we are at war, General. Thank you for your service. Our elders encourage we cease and desist all unpaid labor until after we collect our reparations debt. White supremacy is everywhere, beloved. Then someone says, I'll support you like I supported her. The main comment that I want you all to see is that someone at the top named Aaliyah 47 says she stole from her own people. And she's talking about Vicki when she says that. She stole from her own people. Same thing that I told you all, but some of y'all got mad and clearly didn't want to hear it. This is the next one, also from one of her V-Hive. They say, I wish Vicki well, but I stopped following her months ago. I didn't like the direction she was going. It's almost like she was going in the same direction she accused Tamika and the likes of her of. More money focused than anything. Now, when she says Tamika, she's talking about Tamika Mallory, because we all know what Vicki has said about her. This is another subscriber. We already read that one about the spiritual guide and her thinking that she's God. Okay, I believe that's all of those. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, now I'm going to share my screen. Take that down. I'm going to share my screen because I talked to you all the other day. That's not a good look, VD, when Joy Reid looking more credible than you. Well, okay, so now the other day I talked to you all about a man who's a spiritual, or not a spiritual advisor. He's actually a world-renowned occultist by the name of Terrain Hicks. Now, this is the person that people were saying, spreading rumors that he had something to do with a missing young woman named Tajay Hicks, or Tajay Baker, right? And she has since been found. I saw an interview that her mother did today, and they said that Tajay is in the hospital and that she's not really ready to talk about what happened, but that she was taken by some people. Okay, they didn't say who these people were. They said that she was taken by some people. She obviously escaped from them, but she hasn't given any details as of yet. Her mother said she's going to be patient and wait and see what Tajay says, because Tajay right now is afraid to speak. Now, I also showed you all the other day when I did this video about this situation. I told you all, showed you all the evidence where Terrain Hicks threatened people who he called gossiping bitches, and said that since Tajay was not with him and he'd never met her, he said that he was going to be filing suit against them. He was going to talk to his attorneys. He also threatened them and said that they were going to get hit with some heavy magic. Okay, and that would be black magic, because he's a whole occultist. I also showed you a video, or I showed you the transcripts where he did an interview with an organization called the Warlock Asylum. Okay, so now let's go to the Facebook receipts. I'm going to share my screen again. This is an audio.
I'm from Jamaica. I used to live in Far Rock when I was younger on Gateway. I got hit by a car what's that, 750 Gateway. I heard it's Crip now. Anyway, I'm way older than you. Tajay Baker, you left a comment, or I think you liked the post by Kali. She has 3 pages. She goes by Kali, my TT or whatever. Her real name is Tatiana Baker. Leave these people alone, Scholar. They recruiting for some kind of a cult. All these pictures is just the tip of the iceberg. Me and Tawana's friend, we've been working this shit last night. Shorty that you liked, the walls is closing in. She's in B-Mall. You know what I mean? So, yo, Scholar, some crazy stuff out here. And it looked like they recruit girls between 19 and like 25. And this guy that you see, he might be Terrell Hicks. He might be Terrell Hicks' cousin, shorty from Belly, Keisha. Yo, this shit is deep, man. He might be. There's a strong possibility. So, but anyway, I got to take this call. I think this is what's her name? Tawana, Scholar's mother's friend. She just called me before I gave you all this information. Keep it between me and you, and just stay tuned. This shit about to get crazy, Scholar. Scholar, don't fuck with these people. They into some dark, crazy, satanic stuff, Scholar.
Okay, so this gentleman was telling Skylar, whom I believe is Tajay's friend, to stay away from these people because they're into some dark stuff and they're a cult. He was giving her a warning. Now, this is some text messages from where someone was talking to the detective, Detective Van Manen. Okay, they said, just give all that to the detective. I am glad you didn't get seriously hurt. They said, the person responds, okay, I will. Thank you. Greetings, detective. I'm now seeing that a scene post that Tajay has been found. They respond, hey, sorry, we had a shooting and got tied up. Yes, she was found. The person says, oh no, I hope all is well. And okay, thank you. So that's after Tajay was found. This is a clip from the interview that Tajay's mother did earlier today, about 9 hours ago, where she was talking about Tajay being in the hospital and all of that. Now I'm going to enhance this. I'm not going to read all of these. Okay, this one says, it's from Justice of Portia. They say, when will the truth come out about Portia's identical twin sister sent her up to be murdered by my family? The man in the clip, Terrain Hicks, at Dark Lordism, has been stalking, gaslighting, harassing, and threatening me since February 2017, after I discovered he was hired to kill me by my father and grandfather. Since I discovered my sister's murder, he calls me numerous of times a day, threatening my life. Now, she's talking about Terrain Hicks, and I can't agree or disagree with these allegations because I don't know who this woman is, but this was posted to the page that was called Finding Tajay Baker. This is another person who said that the same man, the occult leader, the occultist, said that he was also harassing her. Then she goes on to say, here's a collage of Natasha's at Twin Babe 24, a madam in the GTA replacement since her twin sister's murder. Now, this is a picture of him and some of the women that are supposedly affiliated with him. And they say, Portia for Justice for Portia says, in this clip, on December 12th of 2017, one of Terrain Hicks's many wives, Candace Smith, at Waikimi, the dark lady, threatens to cut my throat on behalf of her man who was hired to kill me last year and now to keep me quiet about my sister's murder. Candace Smith has 6 children, four are in another state in foster care, and the other 2 are in their father's custody due to Terrain Hicks abusing them sexually. Again, I can't confirm or deny these allegations. This is what this young woman posted to social media. I don't know anything about Terrain Hicks other than the fact that he worked with Vicki Dillard and was on one of her pop-up tours in Atlanta. This is him right here when he denied the allegations.
Shouts out to everybody in this group surrounding Tajay Baker. Tajay Baker has been found. You're saying there was a lot of reports of myself sex trafficking and Tajay Baker being lured into some type of cult. Just want y'all to know in this group that those allegations are totally false. I'm saying Tajay Baker is somebody that I never met a day in my life. And a lot of y'all slanderous rumors are going to be dealt with, right? Most of y'all did not do proper research. And I have a legal team that's going to deal with that. The way that y'all have decided to attack my community was unethical. My legal team, my community, we're going to deal with that too. Again, Tajay Baker has been found, all right? She have suffered from some sort of mental health dilemma. She left home. She didn't run away. She wasn't lured into a cult. She never had contact with any sort of cult. Y'all need to spread that news. Now, I will be doing a live on Monday going into the details about how those rumors came about. But I want to let y'all know that there is some real malicious people out there who tried to slander my name into some sort of human trafficking that never occurred. And the people who did this, I have all of their information and they will be put on blast. All right? So spread the news that Tajay Baker has been found safe by herself. All right? And again, it appears that she left her abusive home. But I got a lot of tea about that abusive home. All right? I know y'all going to see this video. And if anybody want to hit me up, just inbox me. Because I got a lot of information about some of the silliness. Some of y'all had y'all time wasted because y'all really thought that a woman was missing and y'all really cared. Those who did not do their job properly had y'all thinking that someone was missing. The mother lied. She didn't inform the public about her abusive behavior towards her daughter. That needs to be put to the forefront. All right? You had people doing terrible journalism because they were running off of allegations that was never true, that never occurred. All right? Like I said, I'm going to be talking more about this on Monday. But spread the news on your page that Tajay Baker has been found. And the family, they're not going to be quick to say anything because with the information that I'm giving y'all is embarrassing. All right? Again, the family is not going to say anything because the information that I'm giving y'all is embarrassing. They pulled y'all to search for Tajay Baker, but when Tajay Baker was found, their They don't want to post that immediately.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there because the video is almost 10 minutes long. And at the end of the day, that's the gist of what he's saying is he had nothing to do with it. She's been found. He said he never met her. He said he did know. In a part of the video, he says that he does know the woman who asked Tajay to come and to work for her, but the woman said that she never showed up. Now, my question is, and I saw some of you all asking, how does he know all of that? Well, that's what I'd like to know. For someone that he never met, how does he know that Tajay came from an abusive family? How does he know any of those things? How does he know that she ran away? She's 23. What 23-year-old has to run away? And he said that she had a mental breakdown and all of this stuff. How does he know any of these things? Now, Tajay's family said that he was calling, harassing them and calling from different numbers and acting like he was someone else. So here's another post. Now it says Terrain, that's him, Terrain Hicks, said Terrain also operates, and these are not my words. I'm reading what the post says. I'm not making any allegations against this man. I don't know him from a can of paint. Okay, it says Terrain also operates a sex cult, Bamba Gira, okay, where members partake in sex with animals, sex play, and blood drinking. Terrain is a 32-degree Freemason, an inactive member of the Warren Lodge number 32 in Schultzville, New York, and a loyal member and pillar of the Necromonicon Empire. I told you all the other night what the Necromonicon was, what that was all about. Terrain also been employed with the district attorney's office in Brooklyn back in 2012 to 2014, and an FBI agent from 2014 to 2017. Now, I don't know where they got this information from. That's what someone posted. And then it says underneath that, Quana Bakes, they say, this guy is so weird. And this is Taquana Baker. This is Tajay's mother. This is what she said. She says, this guy is so weird. I would have never had your number if you didn't call me. You reach out to me talking about this woman that lured my daughter. Daughter is your sister. Now you're acting like a reporter and reaching out to Tajay's schoolmates, acting as if he just got off the phone with me. He keeps making himself relevant. Who keeps reaching to the person whose child is missing, saying it was a prank, then threatening and using different pages to seek me out or my family and Tajay's friends? Terrain Hicks, people are on to you. Stop calling me. I never knew who you were. You keep trying to get at me and making yourself a factor. That's what Tajay's mother said to him. Now, this is another post that her friend posted a few days ago saying, I'm legit. I'm happy in happy tears. I'm legit in happy tears. My friend was found and she's safe. Someone says, or she also says later, my mind is really everywhere with this. This spiritual medium was last seen with my friend Tajay Baker, and she is on Instagram acting as if Tajay isn't missing. She went private once Tajay's family members reached out to her. Please share and be aware of Tatiana Davis, also known as Callie Matiti Gira. I know as a community, we can bring Tajay home. Last seen heading to Washington, D.C. from Brooklyn. Now, that's when Tajay was still missing, and that's her best friend that posted this. And by the way, I spoke with that friend today. Okay, now here's another post. And this is a picture of Tajay, by the way. It says, when you come into the land that the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not learn to follow the abominable practices of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone who burns his son or his daughter as an offering, anyone who practices divination or tells fortunes or interprets omens, or a sorcerer or a charmer or a medium or a necromancer, or one who inquires of the dead. For whoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord God is driving them out before you. And then someone says, this same person says, leave that witchcraft alone. You was playing in the devil's territory. I pray God gives you back and covers you in the blood. But if Jesus does, you must turn from this wickedness and the worshiping of false gods and idols. Praying for you. God bless you. Now, she left this post, I do believe, for Tajay because she felt like Tajay was hanging out with these people who were engaging in those things that she just mentioned. Now, this right here is a picture of Tyrone Hicks right here, Tyrone Hicks. And these are the women that are supposedly working with him. Some people say they're all in a cult. I don't know if they're in a cult or not, but what I do know is this. If you look at their hand gestures, how they're holding up those symbols with their hands, that's the same thing that Nature Boy, who is clearly a cult leader, and the women and men that follow him, this is similar to what they do. If you don't know who Nature Boy is, he's currently in jail for sexual assault, alleged sexual assault allegations, and you can look him up and you'll see that they do a similar thing with their hands, and they're a whole cult called Carbonation. I'm not saying these people are a cult. I'm just saying that they're doing the same thing that Nature Boy's people do. Now, here is another picture of Terrain right here in the back with the circle over him. And these are more of the women. One of them says, I'm so grateful for the love and discipline I see and experience in each of these genuine spirits. And then they have hashtag dark lordism, hashtag occult college. And that's the organization that Terrain has, the occult college. Now, this is from Vicki Dillard. It says, Vicki X Dillard, pics from our supporters. More footage coming soon. It's been a very long time since I've traveled and spoke to a live crowd. Hashtag Atlanta. V-Hive showed up for me in a beautiful way. Just know I'm just getting started with the hashtag Vicki pop-up tour. Thanks so much. And then she says, shout out to @DarkLordism, which is Terrain Hicks. He calls himself the Dark Lord because he's clearly into black magic, witchcraft, and all things occult. That's what he said in the interview that I read to you from the transcripts the other night. Okay, shout out to @DarkLordism for starting off my tour and activating the crowd with a powerful meditation. I'm so grateful for the extreme hospitality at the Bakery Co-work for allowing my supporters to attend this private event in such a stunning location. I'm infusing the world with magic my way. Well, we know what kind of magic Terrain engages in. Okay, that's Vicki at the pop-up tour. That's Terrain, who was also at the pop-up tour. Vicki posted these pictures, as you can see. This is the flyer when she has her and him on it, and his name is highlighted, circled. Terrain Hicks, world-renowned occultist and teacher. That's what he calls himself. These are more of the women, pictures of the women. They say, we are the coven practicing ancient rites, the coven of Giras. Let me make that bigger so you all can see it. As you can see, the women are scantily clad in things that look like lingerie, all of them. There was a webinar that was held by Vicki Dillard. It was called The Secret Money Within Your Womb. People who attended the webinar have said, and Angel Love has confirmed, that there was something that happened there. They also say that people were instructed to wear lingerie and to bring their drink of choice. And by drink, I mean alcohol. And there was no men to be allowed. There was only women. But someone says that Terrain Hicks was there. Now, if no men were allowed, I don't know why he was allowed and why these women were told to wear lingerie, but they said that there was a satanic sex ritual that occurred, and some people were so disturbed, they got up and left the webinar. I can't confirm or deny those allegations. I was not there. This is just what has been said, and Angel Love herself has said some of these things. So let's stop the share right there. Culture Freedom says, I appreciate the light, Queen. You're quite welcome, beloved. True Love says, I believe it. Well, I do too. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go to some more of these receipts. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. There's a lot of these. I don't know if I'm going to show all of these. Hold on just a moment. Now, hold on. Did I already read this? Okay, here's another comment from one of her fans or one of her V-Hive members. Hope that you all can see that. Let me take it down just a little bit. It says, from someone who calls himself AG Where to Be. It says, I just want to say that I adored and loved Vicki for the past couple of years. And as I grew in my spirituality through my own work, her guidance and other spiritual leaders, I became energetically sensitive and felt an undeniable shift in Vicki's energy after that webinar. I even attended another after because I wasn't trusting my intuition. Once I got spiritually strong enough, I knew without a doubt Vicki had changed, but was putting on a front publicly. I didn't want my video being a part of it. I didn't want my video being a part of this new low vibrating energy. So I very kindly and professionally asked her to no longer use my video to usher in new followers for any reason. She still hasn't officially responded to my request, and I had to threaten her with legal action via her website's email, but not before she blocked me. This is another person that Vicki blocked, and this woman wanted Vicki to stop using any of her videos to promote this man and any of the things he was doing. She says, but not before she blocked me. So all of this with her team isn't super shocking, but definitely revealing. Okay, this is another one. Let me pull this up. Someone responds to Angel Love, who's Vicki Dillard's fan page administrator. She says, real talk, I wish you the best and imagine how far you will go if you put your all into this for you and no one else. Do everything you did, but doing it for you. Doing it for you now that you have created this platform. Get this name off of it. You don't need to be connected with fraudulent people. You seem like a good person. It's always good people that get taken advantage of, but you will be just fine for sure. It may be the end of a friendship, but it is the beginning to your success. That's what they told Angel Love about Vicki, that she shouldn't be dealing with fraudulent people. Now, I read that third one already. That one was about the interview. Okay, so I read all of those. So now with that all being said, let me stop the share. So now I'm going to show this video. Let me pull up this video. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, this is a video that Angel Love did, and it's a song playing called Copycat, where she's clearly trying to say that Vicki is copying her. All right, so also, let me pull up this other email screenshot. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Hold on. There's a lot of these screenshots. I'm trying to go through the ones. I'm trying to find this specific one because some of them I have already shown. Okay, this is the one I was looking for right here. This is the one that Angel Love sent. Let me zoom in so you all can see it. Hope you all can see that. Okay, it says Michi X was 100% right. This is what Angel Love says, because all those things that Michi was saying about Vicki copying her stuff and just doing little slick stuff, trying to mess up her money, telling people not to work with her and all of that. That's is what Angel Love admitted to all of this. And I'll play some audio of her admitting to these things too, not just these texts. But she says Michi X was 100% right. Now, the person she sent this to asked her, "You want me to put this out?" Angel Love replies, "I can admit that." The person says, "You want me to put this out?" She says, "Yes, but without me being involved, covertly. You can share it with Michi X too." And so what Angel Love is doing seems to me that she wants this information to be out, but she wants to do the same thing Vicki does, and that's do it sneaky, throwing a rock and hiding her hand. She wants this information to get out, but she doesn't want anyone to know that she put it out. But I'm absolutely going to let everybody know she put it out, because she gave this to someone who's a friend of Michi's. So clearly she wanted Michi to put it out. But I got the information also, it was given to me. So I'm putting it out because here's the thing. You're the same woman who flagged my video for Vicki. You're the same woman who helped to get my channel taken down for Vicki. You're the same woman who got Michi's channel demonetized and kept flagging Michi's videos for Vicki. So let's get into it, because now I'm going to pull up the video so you all can hear the audio. So you all can hear the audio where she's saying all of this stuff out of her own mouth. That's Angel Love, that is. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, I'm going to share my screen.
Family, this is your boy Z-Banger coming back at you with another reaction video. This one is about Angel Love, Vicki Roney. I call her Vicki Roney. Michi X. This is basically Angel Love saying that she stole an idea from Michi X, brought it back to Vicki. But now I'm trying to figure out if they're so-called B1s, how they're trying to stop Black people from elevating the ozone situation, because I got receipts that ozone was a casualty of war just because Michi.
I'm going to read these text messages. This is what Angel Love sent to Z-Banger. Okay? Says Mark Lamont was going to help Ozone. You all know Othel Wallace, Ozone, the Black man. I'll tell you about him in a moment after this. But Othel Wallace, Ozone, is the Black man who's in jail right now. He could be facing the death penalty, okay, because he got into it with a cop and he was defending himself and he shot the cop and the cop ended up dying. Okay, so Michi X was helping to raise money for him, and she reached out to Mark Lamont Hill to help him. And so Vicki got her minions, Angel Love, and some other members of the V-Hive to do her dirt again. She got them to go and harass Mark Lamont Hill and ask him, why is he speaking out with Michi? Why is he helping Michi? And they did this to sabotage him working with Michi, and also to sabotage him helping Ozone. They said Ozone was a casualty of war because it was really all about Michi's hatred, or Vicki's hatred for Michi. So pay attention. But Vicki's supposed to be one? I don't think so. This man's literally he's fighting for his life. He has young children at home. But she stopped Mark Lamont Hill, who clearly said he wanted to help. He said he didn't know Michi, but Michi reached out to him to help this Black man. And he said he felt like the man needed to be helped. But they put a stop to that because they all went over there harassing him. Now, Vicki doesn't even like Mark Lamont Hill. She's talked about him numerous of times and called him all types of names. But yet she was hating so hard because he was going to work with Michi, and she couldn't have that because she's a whole hater. All right, so pay attention. And anyone saying that I'm hating on Vicki, I saw a couple of y'all in the chat. I blocked a couple of you too. At the end of the day, honey, I hate on no one. Don't get mad because I'm telling the truth, and the receipts speak for themselves. And how am I hating when I didn't say any of these things? This is what her own friends are saying. So miss me with it. Now, goes on to say, Mark Lamont was going to help Ozone. So was Ozone like a casualty of war? This is what Z-Banger asked. Plus the video you got taken down of Blue Pill, that was about a school and kids. Yeah, Vicki had them to take down to flag a video from Blue Pill. I thought she was cool with Blue Pill and was working with him, but she had them to flag his video because he posted a picture of him and Michi, and she didn't like that. And they were working for a school with children, but Vicki got all of that taken down. Now it goes on to say, plus the video you got taken down of Blue Pill, that was about a school and kids. Was that like a casualty also? Just trying to understand more. To which Angel Love replies, pretty much. She just didn't like people working with Michi X. But Michi X talked about her health, amongst other things, and she felt people who worked with her should know her true character. Michi X isn't innocent, though. Like, for real, Vicki blocked her. Michi used to troll Vicki's page and tag me in it. They were always going back and forth. They did things to each other. So some of y'all thought Michi was doing all this stuff and instigating, but what Michi was doing was always a reaction to the sneaky stuff that Vicki did. And how do I know this? Because Vicki also did sneaky stuff to me. She would never say our names, but she'd throw enough subliminals to people that knew us, knew that she was talking about us. Some of you who are clueless and who think that Michi and Michi are hating on her, you had no idea all the low down dirty stuff that Vicki was doing. And anyone that got my channel taken down and got my channel demonetized, she got Z Banger's channel demonetized, she got Michi's channel demonetized, she did all of this, but she didn't do it herself. She got Angel Love and other V-Hive members to do it. And Angel Love has spilled the beans, and so have some of the other V-Hive members. Pay attention. Now, they go on to say, Michi isn't innocent, though. Her and Vicki were doing things to each other. So they admit, Angel Love admits that Vicki was doing things too. And then Z Banger says, but the kids' school and the community, I think, should come first before any drama. Absolutely. Because if you're B1, that should always come first. But I guess that's not important when you're a hater.
She was trying to help her. Is that B1? That's my question to y'all after I let y'all listen to this clip.
Well, let me ask you a question, Angel. When exactly did this, I guess, rebranding of Vicki Dillard start? Because I have a suspicion, but I don't know exactly when. When did all the blocking and this ban, when did that start?
So the rebranding behind the scenes actually started. So I had a conversation with Vicki, and a lot of people don't know this, and I'm not crediting myself about this stuff. But again, like I said, I can pull receipts. It's just super simple to post. But I had conversations with Vicki regarding, she does mastermind class. She was doing that on FNQ. And I loved her mastermind classes, and I would tell her, I was like, I think you can just do this on your own. And I took a class on how to monetize Instagram or social media. I was like, everything that you're doing here, you can do that for yourself. The reason why I said that is because someone sent me a link to Michi X's video, because every time Michi goes live, she's talking about Vicki.
Now, whoever watches Michi X knows she definitely don't go live to talk about Vicki. She say something about Vicki when she know y'all did some underhand shit to her, which Angel Love, you already saying y'all was doing with any and everybody who came in contact with Michi. You even said you flagged my page, which got me demonetized because I was uploading Michi's videos. Y'all screaming B1. I don't understand how y'all are B1. I'm gonna let this video finish out. Peace, y'all.
And in this particular video, and I sent a clip to Vicki, Michi said, Vicki, she obviously, you know how she talks. I'm not going to repeat all of that. But the gist of what she was saying was Vicki could make so much money doing her classes on her own, because Boyce is making like $30,000 and Vicki is making like $3,000, and she should do it on her own. So I went to Vicki and I said, obviously, I don't believe nothing this lady say. We know how she is, but she may be onto something, because she was on the platform herself. I said, why don't you try to do it by yourself? Why don't you go let him have everything that you already have, and let's do your own thing. I'll support you. I'll help you. I'll moderate for you, yada, yada, yada. She actually did that. Her first webinar was on her own was October 24th, 2021. I couldn't have been happier. I was so excited. And she even gives me credit at the end of that video. I can post a clip of that where she says, 4 women helped her do this do this on her own. She was in tears in this video. It was her first ancestor video. And she said Angel Love, which obviously is me. She said her mom. She said Taryn, who is Boyce Watkins' assistant, but she also does Vicki Dillard Zoom. And then she says Mia, which is Vicki Dillard's Vicki Dillard's website. Those were the 4 people she credited to pushing her, to helping her come before the people on her own. That was the beginning of the rebranding.
Hold on 1 second, because I stopped the share a little too quick. Let me go back.
Of the rebranding.
Now for that 5th person, y'all should have mentioned Michi X, because this whole idea came from Michi X. Am I right? How many other ideas did y'all get from her?
Exactly. So she swagger jacked Michi's idea, but at the same time, she's trying to get Michi's channel taken down. Make that all make sense. I'm sure you can't. Okay. So with that all being said, now let's go to this other video, or this audio, shall I say, from a Twitter space that had Vicki's own moderator, or former moderator, spilling some more information. Going to share my screen. This is her former moderator by the name of Jackson. This was in a Twitter space a few nights ago. Now pay attention. You can't say this is, hold on. You can't say anybody's hating on Vicki, because these are all Vicki's people saying these things. And at the end of the day, for anyone who says, that we don't have time for this, that we're at war. I saw someone put that in the chat. We absolutely are at war. But it's funny how some of you all have time for celebrity gossip. You got time for that. And if you don't have time for it, then get out of my chat and get off my channel, because this is war. When you have people who are pretending to be so conscious and pro-Black and for the Black community, and they're sabotaging a Black man who's sitting in jail, possibly facing the death penalty, I believe that is war. This man has children at home. He's fighting for his life, and someone offers to help him and to bring light to his cause and attention to his plight, and someone sabotages it, but they scream, there be one. Please make it all make sense. That is war. And if you don't have sense enough to know that, then you can exit stage left. Now let me continue.
I was made aware from the beginning that from the beginning of the time that I started moderating, I was made aware that it was not a good idea for me to be in such vocal support of people like Jade Arendelle, who was also at FNQ at the time. Anytime I would, because I was a faithful watcher of her show. And when I would log in, naturally, I'm telling people to thumbs up. I would enter the chat with a V1 and some hearts. I was told, you don't need to watch her show anymore. You don't need to be posting her anymore. You don't need to post Tariq so much. You don't need to post Tariq so much. I understand the allegiance, but because I wasn't on FNQ or Vicki Dillard's payroll, I thought it was a bit unfair to ask me not to post them. You know, have my page doxed. Maybe that's not the right word. Have my page kind of striked. You know, they would start reporting my page, and anytime I put his music up, I'd notice my views go down. This kind of stuff.
That is just not cool at all. That's
not on code. That's not on code. That has nothing to do with the inventory code that Neely Fuller talks about. He talks about constructive action, not destructive. Well, I was made aware from the beginning that from the beginning of the time that I started moderating, I was made aware that it was not a good idea for me to be in such vocal support.
Okay, so now that person talking, because someone's saying who's talking, that is, again, that is Vicki's former moderator named Jackson. Jackson says that when he was moderating for Vicki, even though he wasn't getting paid, he was instructed not to be doing so much for Jade Arendelle, not to be reposting Jade Arendelle, not to be reposting Tyreek so much. But Tyreek is the person who put Vic in his documentary, so make that make sense. Now, hold on just a second, because I'm going to play another portion of this Twitter space. Shawshana says, expose the charlatans. You know I plan to. I always will. Okay, so let me go to...
Really just wanted to respond.
Let me make sure I'm queuing this at the right part.
Underway. And many other people.
What else?
Okay, so I hope you all can hear this.
I wanted to bring something else up. Someone mentioned something about Jason Black, and something happened between her and Jason Black. Can someone speak on that?
Yeah, I mentioned it. Like I said, when that whole Will Smith situation was going down, and I'll be honest, full disclosure, but this is not about the fact that I agreed with Jason Black, but I was one of those people who felt like Will Smith was a simp for doing what he did based on the way that Jada had been treating him. And I know a lot of people, even in the B1 community, had different opinions about that. And that's fine. We don't have to agree on everything, especially things that are not necessarily directly about white supremacy. Black people can have personal disputes and it not really have much or anything to do with white supremacy. So that's fine. But people like Vicki were making it about white supremacy and saying, you're not B1, you're not black first, you're off code. And again, we had a beef with a Shakur cult that we were talking about, where they were using that term out of context a lot. And I feel like Vicki was using it out of context. Just because you don't like what Jason is saying about Will Smith doesn't mean that you have to say that he's off code or he's not black first all of a sudden, because he has a different perspective on the situation than you have. And so that's what she was, that's what I was bringing up, because she was, all on her page. And I think the post is still up. You probably can still search it unless she deleted them. She was saying Jason is not B1. Well, a lot of it was subliminal, so she wasn't saying his name, but it was clear who she was talking about.
So she was talking trash about Jason Black, saying that Jason Black wasn't B1. Make that all make sense. He's the one that coined the phrase B1, and she said that he's not B1. Okay, that's clearly crazy. So with that all being said, now let's pull up these receipts, because she also told people, and you all heard someone in that Twitter space that I played the other night said that they went and dug up some research about her criminal history. She kept saying that she was a political prisoner. Well, we're about to find out if she was actually a political prisoner. Wait, but before we do that, let's go to Ozone. For those of you who don't know about his case, this is the person that Vicki sabotaged so that Mark Lamont Hill couldn't help him. And this is all because she had so much angst for Michi X. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen.
The man accused of murdering a Daytona Beach police officer nearly a year ago was in court today for a case management hearing.
Othel Wallace allegedly shot Officer Jason Rayner in the head during an encounter while he was on patrol. West 2's Claire Metz reports Wallace's trial is tentatively set for April 2023.
Have you had a good communication with your client?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Wallace, have there been any issues as far as communication with your lawyers?
No, sir.
Judge Raul Zambrano wants the prosecutor and Othel Wallace's defense team to stay on track for trial April 3rd, 2023. That's just short of 2 years from when Wallace allegedly shot Officer Jason Rayner, when Rayner contacted Wallace in a parking lot while on proactive patrol. The young officer suffered a devastating head injury, died at the hospital 55 days later. Prosecutors say suspect Wallace fled to rural Georgia, arrested just days after the shooting following a nationwide manhunt. Up until now, Othel Wallace's appearances have been held in the jail courtroom for security purposes. Wallace allegedly has ties to extremist groups. But Judge Zambrano says that changes going forward.
It is my inclination that future hearings will be taking place at the Justice Center. So we'll start taking those steps in the future.
Attorneys say they are about halfway through depositions in this case. Suspect Wallace faces a possible death sentence if he's convicted at trial of first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer. The hearing was also on Zoom. That's how the court reporter appeared. There were several members of Jason Rayner's family on the call, though they did not participate. In Volusia County, Claire Metz, WESH 2 News.
The next case management hearing for Othel Wallace is set for August 8th at the Justice Center. And we want to take you back to the beginning of all of this. It was almost 1 year ago on June 23rd, Officer Jason Rayner was shot in the head. Othel Wallace was captured a few days later. He was found in rural Georgia. Officer Rayner died in the hospital a couple of months later on August 17th. He was just 26 years old. WESH 2 has been following the case since the very start last year. You can read more about the death of Officer Rayner on our website, wesh.com.
They can try to make Ozone sound like he's a whole cold-blooded cop killer, but it was clearly self-defense if you saw the footage. Hold on, there's another video. Let me pull this up. And this is the main reason I'm bringing all this stuff up, because when I found out, when Angel revealed that Vicki had had sabotaged and instructed her and other V-Hive members to get Mark Lamont Hill to not help Michi with Othal's case, I felt like something has to be said. At some point, it has to stop. Another thing that made me want to say something is the fact that she's getting these Christian people and engaging them in sick satanic sex rituals, asking them to wear lingerie and to bring alcohol. Okay, according to what some of the members at the webinar had to say. I wasn't there, so I can't substantiate that, but that's what people that attended the webinar, the secret money within your womb, that's what they said. And anybody thinks that that's somebody hating because someone's exposing the truth, you can miss me with it. And like I said, why are you still here listening? Because you're nosy, that's why.
Our once-a-year customer appreciation bargain bonanza. During Ollie Days, everything in our store is...
Hold on, that might be the wrong video. We'll just skip that. I'm going to pull up these charges. That's what I'm going to pull up so we can see if she was actually a political prisoner or not. This is straight from the FBI's website. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see it. Let me enhance this if I can. Okay, so this says Denver woman sentenced to federal prison for mortgage fraud scam. Vicki Dillard Crow, aka Vicki R. Dillard, age 32 of Denver, was sentenced last week, and this is from October the 5th of 2012, just so you know. Says she was sentenced to serve 60 months in federal prison by U.S. District Court Judge Marsha S. Krieger for mail and wire fraud in connection with a mortgage fraud scheme. Following her prison sentence, Judge Krieger ordered Crow to spend 3 years on supervised release. She was also ordered to pay $2,408,142,000 in restitution to the victims of her crime. Now, if she was a political prisoner, activist thrown in jail and all of that, then there would be no victims, but clearly there were. That's why she's been ordered to pay restitution. Make it all make sense. She also took a plea deal. Who takes a plea deal if they're a political prisoner? I'd like to know. They say Crow pocketed close to $1 million during the course of her fraudulent scheme. Crow was immediately remanded into custody after the conclusion of her sentencing. Crow was indicted by a federal grand jury in Denver on April the 5th of 2010. Crow was found guilty following a jury trial on December 16th of 2011. She was sentenced on September the 27th of 2012. Let's not forget these were Black people she did this to, Black people in the church. Remember, she was saying she was a whole prophetess, and people asked, well, how didn't she know she was going to federal prison if she was a prophetess? Make it all make sense. Now, so they say, according to the indictment, beginning in June of 2004 and continuing through December of 2006, Crow knowingly devised and intended to devise a scheme to defraud various financial institutions and commercial lenders and to obtain money and property from various financial institutions and commercial lenders by means of materially false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises. The scheme was executed in connection with the residential mortgage loans related to 19 properties in Metro Denver. As part of the scheme, Crow worked with at least one mortgage broker to obtain mortgage loans in order to purchase the residential properties, at least two of which were purchased in the name of Crow's husband. Was her husband an activist or was he a crook too? Because it sounds like her husband was also involved. Let me continue. They say some of them, two of them at least, were purchased in the name of Crow's husband because Crow was concerned that she would not qualify for the required mortgage loans. In order to qualify, Crow made and caused to be made at least one materially false representation, including, number one, inflating or fabricating employee or rental income and or assets of the defendant or her husband, falsely representing. Number two, falsely representing defendant Crow's job title. Number three, failing to disclose all the properties that she had recently purchased. Number four, failing to disclose all of her financial liabilities. And number five, falsely stating that the property would be a primary residence for the borrower. And I'm going to tell you like this. When I was in college, I did my internship because I went to college for criminal justice. That's one of my degrees. But I worked for a real estate attorney. So I know all about real estate and mortgage fraud and all of that. And if they arrest you for mortgage fraud, bank fraud, and wire fraud, all of those things collectively, they absolutely have proof that you did it. Nobody frames you for that. You see, you have to actually be sitting in a closing and you have to actually be signing your name on these documents. And the properties have to either be in your name because you're purchasing them or your significant other's name. All right. So this has all been verified, and that's why she was found guilty. She absolutely did exactly what she was accused of. There was no one setting her up and framing her. So miss me with that. Now it goes on to say, as part of the transactions, Crow persuaded and caused someone else to persuade the property seller to falsely inflate the sale price of the property so that Crow could receive the inflated portion of the sale price as upfront money after or shortly after the closing purchase transaction. Now, sometimes the upfront money was falsely characterized on a HUD settlement statement as a payment to the broker, although the broker would then pay Crow the money. At other times, the upfront money was falsely characterized as a payment to a remodeling company that was supposed to perform specified remodeling work, although the work was never performed, and Crow actually received the money that was issued to these remodeling companies. The indictment further alleges that Crow used much of the upfront money to make the mortgage payments on the numerous properties that she had purchased. She also refinanced mortgages on a couple of the properties so that she could obtain additional money as a result of the refinance transaction. Let me explain this to you, what happened. So what she likely did was she got the appraisers to lie and say and inflate the price. So let me give you an example. If a home was worth $100,000, for example, she would get the appraiser to lie and say that maybe it was worth $200,000, so that when she would go to the closing, she would get the extra $100,000. Now, mind you, the reason she would take some of that money to go and pay on the mortgages is because no one was actually living in those homes. Those homes were bought for the sole purpose of her being able to get upfront money, and then later on tried to sell the properties or put someone in there so she could make more money. Now, with that all being said, it goes on to say the indictment further alleges that she used as much of the upfront money to make mortgage payments on numerous properties that she purchased. She also refinanced mortgages on a couple of properties so that she could obtain additional money as a result of the refinance transaction. In order to qualify for the refinancing of the mortgages, Crow made the same false statements about employment and income. That means that she likely went in there with false documents, which would include, but not limited to, fake check stubs, inflating the amount of money that she made, and also fake W-2s. False tax returns that would be filed. You can get people to make those. At least that when she was doing all this, that's what people were doing. They were making, there was a lot of mortgage fraud going on back then. That's why many of the neighborhoods went into black, because mortgage fraud was rampant. Okay, there was lots of people doing this, and they would get fake check stubs and fake W-2s. And they would pay people to do these things and take it to closings to act as though they're making all of this money. But what happens is, if you don't pay on those mortgages on time for the first 12 months, as soon as you're late on a payment within the 12 months, in the first 12 months, that's a red flag. And then the finance company starts going through the paperwork and looking for stuff. And they're trying to figure out, how did you get approved for this loan, for this home? And you say that you made X amount of dollars, but now you can't even pay the mortgage. So that doesn't make any sense to them. So they get suspicious. All right. Now, in order to qualify for the refinancing of the mortgages, Crow made the same false statements about the employment and income. Mortgage fraud hurts borrowers, the public, and the financial system as a whole. This is what U.S. Attorney John Walsh said, saying that we will continue to prosecute mortgage fraud aggressively and effectively. Now, the FBI is fully committed to protecting our economy by aggressively investigating those who commit mortgage fraud. This is what they say. So that's one of the articles. There were several. I'm going to stop the share right there. Now, here's an article that some guy wrote about the situation on Lipstick Alley. I'm going to share this also. And again, keep in mind, these were Black people that were scammed. So much for B1. Make it all make sense. Okay, so I hope you all can see this. Okay, there it's on the screen. So this was November the 8th of 2012. This man says prophetess Vicki Dillard Crow, because she was known around Colorado as a prophetess, going around laying hands on people and all that. There's pictures of that on the internet. Prophetess Vicki Dillard Crow, aka Vicki R. Dillard of Denver, was sentenced to serve 5 years in federal prison for mail-in wire fraud in connection with a mortgage scheme. A scheme in which it was believed that she pocketed close to $1 million. In addition, Dillard Crow was also ordered to serve 3 years of supervised probation and to pay back over $2 million in restitution to the victims of her crime. Crow was indicted by a federal grand jury in Denver on April the 5th of 2010. According to the indictment, beginning in June of 2004 and continuing through December of 2006, Crow knowingly devised and intended to devise a scheme. Okay, so we know all of that. I've already read that. But it goes on to say the scheme was executed in connection with the residential mortgage loans related to 19 properties in Metro Denver. Crow, once an ordained minister at the Church of Rehoboth, under the tutelage of Dr. Janice Salim in Fresno, California, is the founder of On Purpose Global Agency and Ministries, known as OPGAM, an international agency of the Holy Spirit, Ruha, according to her website. She was a local radio host of Denver's only gospel station, KLDC, and the founder of the Ascension Prayer College, known around Denver, the Denver area, for her prophetic and apostolic gifts. Crow was a noted psalmist, ministering in such churches as Heritage Christian Center with Bishop Dennis Leonard, Imago Dye, Bishop Paul Shell, as well as once appearing on Daystar. So here's some comments. Here's some comments that people left. Somebody said, wow, is this girl from Mississippi originally? And did she used to go by the last name Harris? The person who wrote the article says, I can't swear to it, but I believe there are some ties to Mississippi. Concerning the last name Harris, I don't know. I've only known her by Dillard and Crow, which is her married name. Someone says she got caught, LOL, but there are plenty of her brothers and sisters in Christ who are flying under the radar, for now at least. They say the amazing thing about all of this is how the sheep swore that she was a caring shepherd for the Lord, LOL. This is yet another example of how easy it is to fool Christian sheep. Sadly, I have family members who are pastors, and they are just like her. With one exception, they steal directly from their congregations. One family member who pastors a church got a family to give him almost $50,000. This was money this family was saving for retirement, but he convinced them to give it to the Lord. What did he do with the windfall? Took his wife on a trip, bought her some new clothes, got some work done on their house, paid some bills, and bought gifts for some of his church booty girls. Numerous church members know that he is having his way with a harem of Christian women in his church, but no one raises any objections. Someone else says, if this stupid woman was such a prophet, then why didn't she see that she would get caught and sentenced to prison? For the record, there are no modern day prophets, as that office was discontinued with the Old Testament prophets. Now, so with that all being said, let's talk about her supposed husband. because he has quite the rap sheet. Let's not forget that he was her co-conspirator in these mortgage fraud schemes. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Now, in the paperwork from the charges, right? It says that her husband's name is Jamaica J. Crow. Well, if this is the same person, and I believe it is, it says, and I'm going to pull this up on the screen. It says suspect arrested in burglaries at Bronco player's home. A suspect wanted in connection with burglaries at a Denver Bronco player's home was arrested after he turned himself in to police. Jamaica Jamal Crow is facing charges for burglary, felony theft, and fraud for a series of burglaries at the home of Broncos linebacker DJ Williams. Now, Crow, age 36, turned himself in to Lone Tree Police just after midnight Wednesday. He was arrested in reference to an outstanding $50,000 arrest warrant. Williams' home has been burglarized twice. The first time was last month when Williams was in Miami for the Broncos' October 23rd game against the Dolphins. His home was hit a second time on November the 3rd while Williams was sleeping inside. Police said during one of the robberies, the man climbed in the home through a side window and disabled the security alarm. Williams' mother, Cherie Gonzalez, told CBS 4 about $50,000 worth of items are gone, including expensive watches and an iPad. Gonzalez said that she is certain the burglar is Crow, who is her ex-boyfriend. She said Crow has sent her several threatening messages through Facebook over the past few days, something that has got her worried about her safety and Williams' safety. She said he wrote about how it's going to blow up in my face and he's going to drop a bomb. Police spokesman Sergeant Ryan Gallego said Crow is not willing to come into the police office for an interview and is not cooperating. So with that all being said, like I said, if this is the same person that she was married to, which I believe it is, because his name is Jamaica Jamal Crow, and they said in the paperwork that her husband's name is Jamaica J. Crow, all right, of Denver, just like this person. And so with that all being said, let me pull up this last piece of paperwork. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, I'm going to share the screen again. Colorado woman charged with fraud for a mortgage loan scam. This was October the 8th, 2012. Vicki Dillard Crow, age 32, was sentenced to 5 years in prison last week for her involvement in the mortgage loan fraud scam. Her sentencing not only included the 60 months behind bars, but also included her spending an additional 3 years under supervised release. Okay, I'm going to skip down because we already know all of that. It says her and her partner would buy loans. Often she would use her husband's name in order to qualify for the loan. Many fraudulent acts were involved in the purchasing of properties, including misrepresentation, in which she would lie about her income as well as her employment or different assets that she had, etc. Not only this, she would manipulate the person selling property to her to falsely inflate the sale price, and by doing so, she would then receive money illegally after the transactions. Many more details were involved in the fraudulent acts of this woman, and because of that, the court of law deemed her as guilty, and she is now spending time in prison for her actions. And so they say, if you know anyone who was accused of a crime, fraud, or anything else, contact a criminal defense attorney is of great importance. And this came from the freedmanattorneys.com site. So now, last but not least, I'm going to play one more clip from a video. And this person had receipts that came from Angel Love as well. All right. And so listen to this.
Damn. When I tell you Nicki Minaj, that's the song of the year. Listen. Now you talking about a brother that's on death row or maybe facing life in prison. Not necessarily death row, excuse me. And you hated on another black journalist speaking up because you mad because you're not involved. What's the definition of B1? What is the definition? Because that ain't it. Then she's sending Queen Ahmadiyyah's video to people. So she on the prowl for Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur. So anybody that's close to her might want to let her know, be wary of her videos because these bitches is wicked.
All right, so y'all heard that. The receipts that she had said that Vicki is sending my videos to people. First of all, I heard that also before, that she has sent some of my videos to that occultist for him to cast witchcraft, black magic on me. And also that she was sending my videos to people to get my channel flagged and all of that. And she was saying that they need to warn me, anybody who's close to me. All right. So with that all being said, those are the receipts. And anybody who has a problem with it, you can go look all this stuff up for yourself. At the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding, honey. Someone can tell you anything. Most people who go to prison for scamming people, especially their own people, are not going to admit to it. They'll tell you all sorts of lies to make it look like they were not culpable, like they didn't have any malicious intent, malice aforethought, any of those things, like they're just framed and all of that. But the receipts were all there. And as I said, I worked for someone who was a mortgage attorney or a real estate attorney when I did my internship in college. So I absolutely know how people commit mortgage fraud. And I know that if you are accused of it and found guilty by the feds, that's because you actually did it. You had to have properties in your name. You had to have sat down at closings and signed your signature. No one can frame you for that. If the feds are going to frame you for something, they would frame you for something that wasn't so difficult to prove. Because also, there's another receipt that I have if you want to see it. Maybe I should pull that up. But there's another receipt where it shows all of the wiring transactions that were also pulled up. They had all of these wiring transactions because I believe she had about 16 counts where there was numerous bank fraud and wiring transactions, and they had information on every single one of them. All right. And so with that all being said, it's all absolutely true. You can let someone fool you all you want. But like I said, the fact that she intervened and had her minions to go over there and harass Mark Lamont Hill so that he wouldn't do anything with Michi as far as is helping Ozone, Othel Wallace, a black man who's facing the death penalty. If that doesn't reek of a hater, someone who clearly doesn't care anything about her people, someone who clearly isn't B1 while she's trying to accuse someone else of not being B1, the man who coined the phrase, simply because he didn't agree with her on the Will Smith debacle. So make that make sense. I'm sure you cannot. So all of you who are mad and butthurt, well, you'll just have to get over it. At the end of the day, I've done everybody a favor by exposing this as far as I'm concerned. All right. Anyone doing 6 satanic rituals and dealing with occultists who claim to be doing all things occult and who claim that they actually work, with dark forces and all these things, that's absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy. But hold on. There was one more. Let me see if I can find this really quick. Hold on. There was one more comment that a woman left on June the 16th. And it was important because it was pertaining to her daughter, who she was very concerned about. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I'm going through these screenshots till I get to the right one. And then I'm out of here. Bear with me, everyone. This is a lot of receipts. Almost done with the first set. Okay, there was I want to say it came from a woman. What was her name? Hold on just a second. Sharon Hunter. A woman named Sharon Hunter. You can go on the Vicki Dillard fan page and find this under the video where Angel Love went live. But a woman by the name of Sharon Hunter left a comment on June the 16th, and she said that her daughter brought her some pictures of people drinking blood that she got off of Terrain Hicks's page. Okay, there was women drinking blood and all of these things, and she showed it to her mother. She was like, "Look at this," and her mother said, "Don't you follow him again, and stop following him and Vicki." Okay, basically that's what the woman said. Her name is Sharon Hunter, and this was posted on June the 16th, and I do believe it's found on the fan page under the video that Angel Love posted. All right. So anyway, with that all being said, those are your receipts. So everyone, please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you don't forget to follow me on Instagram at QueenAhmadiyyah. You can also follow the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur fan page. And let me tell you something. You can't believe everything you say. And anything that I say or that anyone tells you, you should always go and fact check it and look it up yourself. Don't just blindly believe things that people tell you. Now, this person's supposed to be one, but they were talking trash about Jason Black, Tariq Nasheed, having me and Michi X's and Z Banga and other people's videos flagged, trying to get our channels taken down, and actually got all of our channels demonetized. I lost my channel for 8 months thanks to this devil. And at the end of the day, how was that B1? And also sabotaging a black man who's in prison fighting for his life so that he didn't get any help or any further attention drawn to his case. And I want you to pay attention, because when I showed that video, that news clip of Ozone, Othel Wallace, you notice that they said that he's an extremist. He belongs to extremist groups. They were talking about NFAC because he was a member of NFAC. At the end of the day, that's not an extremist group. But you see how they lie and spread a narrative just to make him be painted as such a thug or whatever. But if you saw that video, the initial video of when the cop approached him, it was clearly self-defense as far as I'm concerned. All right. But we know how they do black people. So at the end of the day, everybody, you should be supporting Ozone and praying that he gets a fair trial, which likely he may not. All right. But maybe we could have gotten more attention to his case and had more people to support him and donate to his cause had his case not been sabotaged by someone who's a whole hater and so caught up with greed and money and fame and being the big dog on YouTube, which they claim they're not even a YouTuber, by the way. Maybe if they hadn't intervened and sabotaged things, we could have gotten him more support. So I wish you all, that's right, free ozone, absolutely. So I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Everyone do something productive and constructive, never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your life. Until next time, beloveds, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights,